Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. So if there's going to be just one toy line or TV series that I really associate with Top Gun, it's going to be Macross, or I think it is known here in the United States as Robotech. So I'm just very happy with this purchase of this 1:6 scale of a VF1-A piloted by Maximilian Jenius, the ace of the Skull Squadron headed by Rick Hunter. So I just got lucky that this box set that I was able to purchase online at eBay, the seller really kept it somehow in the best pristine condition that he could. So the vehicle is in complete form, no brakes or missing parts. We also have all of the components of the box, so missile pads, gun pads, and handsets, or possible antennas and everything. The only thing that is missing on this set would be the sticker sheets, because I think that all of the decals has already been applied, plus some. So let us take a look and admire the packaging of this toy. So of course I remember this well when I saw this in one of the toy stores when I was still young, and really promised myself to get one when I was already a working professional. So finally I was able to snag a complete set. Actually, this is my second purchase of a VF1-A. I also have a VF1-A that I purchased loose, but this is the VF1-A that I was able to purchase as a complete set. So let us admire the box packaging as the way I remembered it when I was a kid. So looking at the side of the box, we have all three transformations of this VF1-A. So we have the Batroid, we have the Jerwalk, and we have the fighter mode. Of course, the markings VF1-A piloted by Maximilian Jenius, and we have a 1980s style picture image of the toy with some of the specifications of the VF1-A and all of the marking. So let's examine the contents of our purchase. So we're going to have the VF1-A, of course, and judging from the way it looks, all of the decals has already been applied to this model or this toy. So plus some too. He told me that those skull insignias is not part of the sticker decals that was purchased with this set, but it's an additional thing that he added on. Anyway, it looks cool, the skull insignia, so I'm just retaining that sign on the figure. Plus I'm scared that I might, if I just pull this off, I might peel off the paint. So looks good anyway, so it stays. So we have the cluster of missile pads or the assortments, and judging from the trays, all of them are in there. So we also have the cockpit guard or the canopy guard. When in transformation to Batroid form, this would protect the canopy from live fire. So we also have the gun pad in protracted form, and I think this could be hung on the side of the forearm in its plain mode. So we also have the baggie for the spare hands that comes with this set, and plus additional possibly antennas or things that you might need with transformation, especially the antenna. So in Jerwalk mode, this is something that you put on the backpack. We will have that antenna, and you still have this thing for the rifle pad. So yeah, it is really a complete set, and I'm really happy with this purchase. So let's get on with the review. Okay, so we have the VF1-A in its base configuration in fighter mode. So let's first do some bit of measurements. So for length, this is about 9.5 inches long. So with a wingspan of about 9 inches. Yep. And total height from the cockpit to the front landing gear, that's going to be around 2.5 inches. But from the rear landing gear to the tip of the tail, so that's going to be around 3 inches. So something that came from the, or was produced in the 80s, a break in the original Tokotaku version or design of this VF series or variable fighter series from Macross or Robotech. So this was really, I think, what I could call really innovative or a breath of fresh air, because we have a really modern design this time, and even if this is an old toy, it really still holds to the newer versions that are released today, that are produced by, for example, a company Kits Concept. So we have the missile pads on the wings of this plane, or this fighter mode of this VF1-A. I tried putting on the gun pad, but somehow in display there is just little clearance, about a centimeter of clearance from the review table. So I guess what's the point of putting this thing underneath there when it just doesn't look good? And somehow there's just little clearance between the front laser of the rifle, and somehow it's going to rub on the review table. So what's the point anyway? So let's just put this to the side, but in its short form, or in something that you could store in fighter mode. This is how the gun looks, and it's going to lengthen. So in Batroid mode, so when it's time to fight on the ground, there you go. So you could extend the buttstock to full length, and there is a handset that goes with this rifle, which is interchangeable with the handsets that are on the plane. So as you could see, just like the Tokotaku version, you have the capacity of just sliding the hands, and they're going to reveal a different handset, a smaller handset, so which actually are replaceable with a different one. So if you want to attach this gun pad, so you have to take off those panels on the forearm, and that attaches over there. So this is how the fuselage looks like for this VF1-A, and that's a closer look at the landing gears, which are metal. Those are non-rolling landing gears, or are they? I'm really not sure, and I don't want to force it. So they don't look like they are rolling landing gears. So anyway, that is nice aspect, that those are metal or aluminum, so they don't break easily. And as you could see, you could just pull back the landing gears and store them and secure them, and they are nicely covered by these flaps. To transform this VF1-A into gyro walk form, you first have to take out all of the missile pads and retract the foldable wings, just like this. And of course, you have to put all of the landing gears in. So for example, for the front landing gear, you have to move the head unit to the side first before putting the front landing gear in, and once it is nice and secure, you can cover it this way. And let's do the same with the rest of the last two landing gears that we have for this VF1-A. So as you could see, somehow the engineering on this toy is really nice, and of course the later versions of this would be better, but for the time when this came out, it was really something of a game, what you would possibly be called a game changer, because of it retains somehow similarity in design with the Tokotaku version, but it really gives us a newer look of the VF1-A, VF1-J, or VF1-S. Instead of that boxy or toy-like form, we have a really lifelike or cartoon accurate depiction of the fighter modes or the bot droids or the Joroks that we see in the cartoon. That's it. So to free the leg, this is one of the things that differs from the Tokotaku design. So you have to detach the legs from this unit. So as you could see, you have to do that. So disengage the front securing pin. So once you know that it is disengaged, you could already pull the leg down. So the leg is secured underneath, so it won't flap around, with a hook. So you have to take it out first by pulling this system in, this locking system in. So once you've done that, you could possibly just do this, slide the leg, try to disengage it from the rest of the plain body, so you could put this down. Okay, so this is what I meant. So we finally had the leg disengaged from the plain body. So as you could see, so we have a blow up version how this was designed. So we have a hook over here, that is this part is metal, and you also have a hook over here, and those are where those hooks would secure on the plane. So you have to literally take this leg off in transformation mode for this toy line. So that is the break in design or the innovation part from the original Tokotaku, which was just a hinge system wherein you could just put the leg down directly. Okay, so both legs are off, and this is the similarity in design with the Tokotaku version with regards to how the upper portion or the arms would transform. So just like the Tokotaku version, it's just nice and simple. You have to detach this to the arms. So you have a pin which would engage both arms this way to secure it, and this would attach, that pin would attach to the leg, and we have a two hook system. So somehow in fighter mode, the leg won't just detach or flap around, which actually is really nice. So that's what I was telling about with regards to playability. This is something that is not meant to be played with. This is more for either of the three modes, and once you have transformed it, you just enjoy how it looks. Okay, so we have the VF1-A in Jerwalk form. So next step is to attach all of the missile pads. Already done. So next thing that I'm going to show you would be, of course, in this form. Just extend it this way, and if you wish to change handsets, it is also possible with the ones that are on the bag. So these handsets are more bigger than the ones that are attached to the base figure. So this so far holds on to the rifle better compared to the one that is attached to the base figure. So as you could see, this finger engages the trigger better than the one that is attached with the figure. So in transformation mode, if you wish to change, so it's easily done. So somehow the connection point is just nice and soft rubbery plastic material, and just hold on to the forearm as you snap the new handset in and let him hold on to the rifle. Okay, so we still have one handset to go, and this is what the other handset looks like. So it's an open palm version and looks better somehow, so let's change it. Okay, so let's put all of the things aside. So we have several articulation points on the Jerwalk form. So actually the head turret or the head unit could still be rotated left, right, and downwards. The wings of course could be swept back, and the missile pads could be rearranged according to the swept position. For the arms, we have rotation on the biceps. We also have rotation for the arm. Of course, with regards to transformation, that is possible, but we also have a hinge system for doing this thing. So if you want to let him fire around with the rifle in Jerwalk form, so that is the use of that extra hinge system. So we have a single point of articulation on the elbow. We have only circular movement for the hand. As for the leg area, we have a point of articulation over here, of course based on transformation. We have another articulation point on the knee, only a single point, and we have an articulation point or a cut for rotation of the shin. Of course, the legs, the feet, I mean, we also have articulation points over here. So these of course are the thrusters in fighter mode, so you could fold them for thruster mode and fan them in Jerwalk or in Batroid form. Then we also have articulation, which is to, if you want a lower point or lower bearing for the Jerwalk, that is possible. So you have this motion for just the foot. So actually it is a nicely articulating figure, but that's it. As you could see, parts on this figure really snap off easily, so this is more for display purposes, just as I mentioned earlier. So this thing is best enjoyed in 3 configurations. So that is how it looks in Jerwalk form. The only thing that is missing in this set would be a pilot. I'm really not sure. I already did some research, and I really don't know whether a pilot figure is standard for this set or not, or maybe possible later versions done by Yamato for the VF1-A, VF1-J, or VF1-S would come with pilots. So let's do the next mode, which is the Batroid form. So when transforming this figure in Batroid form, of course the most crucial piece of process or transformation process that you do is, once again, you have to detach the legs. So this is going to be the button that you play with to detach the leg from the main body of the figure, and somehow it's going to attach on the front over here of the cone. So if you're going to plan on transforming this figure, you have to detach that small front piece over here. So let's put the figure closer. So this front piece where the chopstick is pointing, you have to push that back this way, or possibly on the other side. So I'm going to already do that. So as you could see, that piece is already moving, and let's just stick the end of the chopstick so we could expose this. So there you go. So once the cone is that part of the cone is exposed, this is where the legs would hang onto or attached on to. So this cone too has rotation movement. So in Batroid form, you also have some kind of articulation points. So not bad after all. We really have nice articulation points for this figure. And of course, in transformation mode, you have to take off the canopy, the transparent canopy, and replace it with the blue shield. So it's actually a snap-on process, and the rest is just like your Tokotaku version with regards to transformation. And the weak points on this figure really is, let's move from the back. So it's going to be this thing over here. So this connection point to the backpack, actually that is very flimsy plastic. Well, it's quite durable, because of course this has held up for several years now, or maybe the original user was really extra careful with this toy. That's why it has really retained its form and color, and somehow the joints are still really tight on this, so it hasn't been played with, or possibly it was just displayed in either 3 configurations. So just take care of that point over here when you do the transformation process, but the rest, it transforms just like your Tokotaku. Okay, so let's have a close-up view of the cockpit. So when you take off the canopy, actually just have to put pressure on these 2 sides, squeeze a little bit, and it's going to pop off. So you have to take your shield cover, because actually if you're going to transform this into Batroid without this crucial piece, it's not going, the chest armor is not going to really settle to the cone of the plane or the cockpit, because as you could see, that is rounded, and as compared to the shield, it is nicely recessed on this side where this chest is going to rest onto. So actually we still have a slot over here, and that just rests nice and easy on the cockpit of the plane that way, and you could proceed with your transformation. So we have the VF1-A in Batroid form. So if you wish to store the weapon, so just shorten it or tuck the buttstock in this way, and with your fingertips or with your fingernails, just try to detach this cover piece of the forearm, and there you go. You have a peg over here, and it attaches to the pistol grip of the rifle, and it attaches somehow nicely this way. Somehow it rides quite high on the forearm, not really like the one that we have seen in the cartoon TV series, just like the VF1-S of Roy Fokker, wherein somehow the rifles seem to be quite short, not this way, but that is a nice way of having still that kind of effect for this toy. So you have weapon storage on the forearm, so either left or right you could take out the other panel. So we have another panel in where you could possibly just do the same thing, try to take that forearm cover off and attach the rifle. So let's do a quick 360 of these figures in its Batroid form. So really nicely done, and I love how this figure has been taken care of. So the first owner really loved this action figure, that somehow the color is still nice and vibrant, no chips or paints. Somehow, of course, a sticker panel would be missing. I think we need a VF sign over on this side over here, or possibly here, but that is already missing, so I guess that peeled off the figure, or possibly wasn't part of the figure at all. Anyway, it's still a cool looking VF1-A, so the second VF1-A that I have on board this time. It is a complete set, so really love how it looks, how vibrant the colors are, and all of the decals are really on this figure. And even if we have some decals that are quite peeling off over here, and I see some on this side too, but it's okay, I could easily put those back on. So just happy to share this vintage action figure with you guys. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next figure review.